Hey guys, this is Daniel,
And Matthew,
and
and
we
we
are
are
that
that
damn
damn brand.
brand. So today we have, well, I guess it won't be breaking by the time it comes out, but we have some news that Apple has terminated Epic's account on, or the development account on there. So no more Fortnite, no more, what's the other one?
Infinity Blade.
Yeah, Infinity Blade. They are done until they make a deal because anything you can undo anything. Money talks more than you know. I really think that it's a game of chicken. They're just trying to see who's going to fold before the other one. I Apple has more money, so I think Apple's going to win. But you know, Epic's cash cow is Fortnite, so I really think Apple's going to wear them down. I hope not. I hope Epic. I hope the Battle of the Tims. Sweeney comes out on top of Cook, but I really do think Apple's probably going to end up winning. How about you?
I mean, Apple probably will win, but in the article that I sent you regarding this, like, it's kind of ironic because Apple's trying to, like, you know, position themselves in a certain way, and they are in fact promoting PUBG Mobile for iOS, and it's ironic because that is in fact developed with Unreal, the Unreal Engine, which is by Epic. So it's kind of a little bit of ironic twist there, but we got to root for Epic in this case because it is better for everyone in the long run if Apple has to open up the marketplace a little bit more and um, I don't want to say be kinder, but like be less domineering, I
Authoritarian,
guess. Yeah, yeah.
less fascist.
Yeah, there it is. Apple 1984 or whatever.
Yeah. I think if Epic does end up quote unquote winning, I don't think it's going to help everyone. I think they'd probably cut a deal with Epic, saying, "Okay, we'll only take 15%," kind of the way they did with Prime Video. So I don't think it's going to. I think if something does happen at this point, it is going to be something that only benefits Epic and doesn't really benefit other people. My personal opinion, but
Well, I mean, it might
only time
show
will tell.
that it's kind of like in the movie 300 where Leonidas throws his spear at Xerxes, and even though it just kind of like hits him on the cheek, it showed the rest of the men that a god could bleed. So in this case, it'd be very similar vein. If Epic's actually make able to make Apple bleed, then it shows that they're not this impenetrable, untoppable juggernaut. So
Yeah, but look how big of a company it takes to do that.
well, yeah, I'm not saying like every little indie company will be able to do what Epic's trying to do, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
at least it's,
maybe next Microsoft will come and maybe like,
yeah.
well, I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, that's all I got to say on that. But since we're talking about evil shit,
That's a good segue into the Resident Evil series coming to Netflix. Yes. I was not aware that this was actually a thing because it's a live action Resident Evil series. Like, they've put the Resident Evil, like, animated movies, I'm pretty sure you can find on Netflix. Um, because I want to say I've watched a few of them here, there, kind of like in the middle of falling asleep. But the
they
live
were that
action,
good.
yeah. The live action is more of my thing. Like, I like the Resident Evil movies, like, live action movies more than I like those animated ones, even though they're just bad. They're just really cheesy and over the top, but they're to me, I like them. So the live action is going to follow the sisters Jade and Billy Wesker as they moved to New Raccoon City. And I guess there's going to be time travel because it's talking about how there's two different timelines. And yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Like I said, I didn't even know that it was a thing, that it was being made, but then I saw the IGN post about it, and so it's piqued my interest. What do you think?
I saw the post and I didn't give a shit. I personally hate the movies that you're saying you like. I think they're corny and over the top. So
But I think that's what makes them awesome. Like, I
that's
don't know.
why I hate them. So I just figured I haven't seen anything Resident Evil that I like outside of the games, and this is probably going to just be added on that list.
We give
But
it a
to each
shot.
their own. Not every, yeah. Like if I had Netflix, I definitely would give it a shot. But this is not definitely anything that would make me get it. And to each their own. Not everyone has to like everything.
Also true. Maybe we could do one of those like off-screen watch-alongs or something where it's like we're not actually watching it, it's just like we're watching it, but the camera's just on us, and we can just
Yeah.
be
Oh,
reacting to it,
reaction videos.
like oh shit, I can't believe they did that.
A reaction video.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or some kind of like Discord watch-along or something. We'll see.
If Netflix had that thing on Xbox where everyone could watch together, that'd be cool. But
Yeah, if only
I
they
don't know why
didn't
they
get
took
rid
that
of that.
away.
Dude, yeah, that was like in 2010, 2011. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Then you can emote and shit. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And better news though, Halo is hiring a veteran person, which I don't know who did they say? I didn't think it said.
I think it was like the Halo 1 producer or something like that. Joseph Staten, Halo veteran. Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about this because I know he was hired to get in Halo Infinity on track, or Infinite. I'm sorry, Halo Infinite. But I think the whole series needs to get on track. So I'm really excited about this. I remember hearing reports that when Halo 4 was being made and 343 first started coming to do it, that they were intentionally hiring people who didn't like Halo to form into something that would attract people that outside of the Halo fan base. Obviously, that didn't work out because 4 was not taken well and 5 got shit on a lot. So, and then they had to restart Infinite because it was going to be like 5, so it'd probably end up being shitty too. I'm really excited that they're finally noticing that Halo has its own entity and Halo can just be Halo. Halo doesn't have to try to copy other franchises. It can exist because if you copy Call of Duty, you know who's going to out Call of Duty you? Call of Duty. Right. So just be your own. If you have a fan base, just run with it and be what you are. If you want to start a Call of Duty clone, then start a Call of Duty clone, but don't take an existing franchise and try to warp it into some hybrid bullshit that no one likes.
Gears of War Judgment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's another great point, which Microsoft also has their hand in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, and there's been I don't want to say like precedent, but that might be the word for it. Basically, this sort of thing has happened before with actually Rod Ferguson. He got hired away from Epic to go work at, I believe it was Irrational Games. They were getting ready to release BioShock Infinite, or was that what BioShock Infinite?
I think it was BioShock.
Holy shit, that'd be crazy if the same thing came on track and both games were called Infinite, like Halo Infinite, BioShock Infinite, like. But anyway, he basically got put on like a BioShock game to help get its development back on track, and that game launched and it came out and it did fairly well. I feel like the BioShock series has gone down like every single game, but that was sort of like seen as them getting back on the right track. So it wouldn't be surprise me if the same sort of thing happened with Halo. Like now they're bringing in this veteran to come in and kind of steer the series back on course. And also it wouldn't surprise me if they announced a new BioShock game sometime in the near future.
Well, the funny thing is you bring up Rod Ferguson about leaving to get a game back on track, but then he also came back to get another game back on track, get the Gears of War.
The series,
The series, yeah. He left, they did Judgment, which is a total piece of shit. And then he came back to do 4 and 5. Did he do 5? I thought he left again, but I think he helped.
He just left again. Right. I think he went to do another studio. I think Black Tusk or something like that.
Yeah. Because the coalition is Yeah. So no, the Black Tusk was the coalition.
Whatever. Yeah. He did just leave though. I know that much.
But it was so Gears of War went through the same thing where they went off track, no one liked their shit, and then they brought back one of the people who actually made it. I guess they were just smart enough to realize it faster than 343.
Yeah. Only took 1 game instead of 2.
Yeah. 2.5 because if it had to be redone.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But so I think all in all, the news is great for someone who really does like Halo and wants Halo to go back to where it is. But speaking of Microsoft Studios, they are actually starting a quadruple A game studio.
Oh
They are
man.
recruiting the Destiny 2 narrative lead, Christine Thompson, and Remy I can't even say her name. Sorry, Remy.
Lacoste. Remy
Lacoste,
Lacoste. Yeah.
who was the director of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I'll leave out the other game because that would that would be bad to her resume. But
Oh god. Yeah. As so Christine Thompson, they're bringing her on as the head writer, Destiny 2 narrative lead, and then Remy Lacoste as the experiential director. Like I guess a director who has experience, or maybe they mean director of experience. I like. But anyway, they're also joining studio lead Daryl Gallagher, who's worked for developers such as Rockstar, Crystal Dynamics, and maybe we should leave out that last one as it's a hit to their resume. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's this sort of thing happens in other mediums a lot. Like you get bands like was it Velvet Revolver and stuff where they take like musicians from different bands, like the drummer
hell
of this
yeah,
band, and yeah, like Hell Yeah, and
super bands.
yeah, basically. And so it's like it doesn't seem that out of place, but in terms of the gaming industry, quadruple A seems like a bit of a stretch because we haven't
So
seen what they're gonna do yet. I mean, they have some pretty good experience and resume, but we need to see some shit first, you know?
right. My opinion is Microsoft needs to get down AAA before they move on to quadruple A. But I I like this report because it shows that they're actually concentrating on games this time around with the next gen. It may take a year or two before we do see results of this, but it's hopefully Xbox is not just going to be uh, all third-party games this time around, and it looks like they actually are trying to do something. And A for effort, maybe triple A for effort, or quadruple A for effort. But I don't get excited about the stuff yet because it could, with all this talent, it could still be ruined by people at the top that are controlling the money if it's rushed or anything like that. Because you can look at the situation with Blizzard, where Blizzard would come out with games every few years, but they were games that like the gaming community loved and they were critically acclaimed. And then Activision starts wanting sequels and just bringing down costs and all that shit, and now no one likes them. Like with the Warcraft 3, how that was totally a botched launch. You don't know until you actually see results. So I think it's a move in the right direction, but I'm not going to get excited until I actually see the fruits of the labor.
Right, and like I can actually kind of tie this into something that's I didn't actually put on the outline, but I mentioned it. So Kingdoms of Amalur, which I specifically mentioned like 3 weeks ago, whatever, on the podcast, actually just got announced at Gamescom as getting a re-release called Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. But the point I wanted to make regarding this, the quadruple A studio and all that, is that you can bring in a bunch of talent. In which case, Kingdoms of Amalur had R.A. Salvatore or whatever, some kind of like really famous writer, and then Todd McFarlane, who, if you don't know who the fuck that is, then Google it, and Kurt Schilling of the Phillies, who was like a really famous baseball player, and like put all their money in on this game, and it was kind of not that great, but they're re-releasing it and it might get sales. But my point is that you can bring together a bunch of talent and have like the best ideas, but if it's not executed well, or if it doesn't hit the right time, like there's all sorts of things that can happen that can potentially be pitfalls for it. So I do agree with you that it feels like they're going in the right direction, but even then it could end up being like too much of a good thing, like too many people wanting to do their idea or their vision and not doing something
Right. It may be a lot
cooperatively.
of good talent, but the personalities conflict.
Right, exactly. And so who knows, like you said, we'll just have to see. the fruits of their labor and just hope for the best. That's all we can really do.
Yeah, but the best thing from this is that Microsoft is attempting to create good first-party games,
Yeah,
which that's good.
agreed.
And another first-party game that was recently kind of leaked out. I forgot his name. Mark Grubb, something Grubb.
Yeah.
He said on Twitter that Microsoft is working on a third person, or I guess it would be rare, a third person Perfect Dark. This it's kind of interesting that this news came out right after we kind of spoke about Rare last time. I'm a huge Perfect Dark fan, like the original Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark Zero was kind of a letdown, but I still played it because it kind of was one of the first next gen games for the 360, and it was an all right game. It wasn't Perfect Dark though.
Right.
So at this point, with how I've seen Rare kind of like just a shell of themselves, I'm not too excited, to be honest. I'm because it's Perfect Dark, it'll stay on my radar, and like whenever they do release stuff, I'll definitely be checking it out. But that's probably the nostalgia in me. It has potential to be cool. Third person, I'm interested in what they're going to do. It may not follow Joanna, maybe a completely different side story, just in the Perfect Dark universe, which I would be okay with, because if you're not going to do a first person shooter, I would rather you just follow a different character, and like maybe different, like maybe instead of a special agent, you're playing a spy or something. Maybe like Perfect Cell. I don't know.
Well, so like I would imagine, like just based on other kind of like sequels or reboots or what have you, but set in like similar universes, they would do something where it's like Joanna's daughter, or like you said, maybe something completely different, like maybe Mr. Blonde or whatever is like a fucking good guy this time or whatever. Like I don't know, like when you're creating something, you can basically pull some shit out of your ass and attempt to make it make sense. So there's
I forgot that Zero was a prequel, so you're right. So the NES one, you would be able to work off that.
the 64, you mean?
64, yeah. Oh, NES, wow.
I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
64.
Perfect Dark on the NES. Holy shit.
Dude,
That
I
was
loved Perfect
amazing.
Dark so much. I played the fucking Game Boy Color version.
Did you really?
Yeah, that was kind of bad, but I would still play it.
Wow.
So,
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, so there's a bunch of ways they could do it. It will be interesting to do third party. Like if I had to guess, I would say it'd probably be a cross between like Gears and shit, maybe like Assassin's Creed, kind of like stealth part. Not so much the actual assassinating, jumping off ledges and shit, but just kind of sneaking up on targets and whatnot.
yeah, I would think stealth would be added to it as well if they're doing a third person.
Or Hitman, even. You want to bring that up?
Yeah, but I want to finish up Perfect Dark first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like I said, I'm keeping it on my radar. I would like to see Elvis back. I liked Elvis. He was a kind of a little smartass, but
He was awesome.
and I would like to see some of the old weapons back, like the Callisto and some like, oh, what if they brought back the Farsight? That gun would be so broken now.
I
Well, it
mean,
was broken back then, but
it's a cross between the light rifle and the Promethean vision.
it shot through the walls.
I
Single
know.
hit too. Shoot them in the toe, they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. You
I
didn't
don't
even have
know.
to be good.
It I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it now, just to see what it is. But we can talk about Hitman. So, well, actually, we already talked about Hitman. It's more about VR, but
Or whatever,
the
but
previous one. So, with the recent announcement of Hitman having VR on PlayStation, I did a little bit of research because I was curious if it was coming to PC, because I kind of want to play that. That'd be cool as shit.
my homing briefcase.
And we found something about I found an AMA of the developers, and people asked him if it's going to come to PC VR. He pretty much just said we can't really talk about that, but we can confirm that at launch it'll be on PlayStation, which to me is kind of like no, because Resident Evil had a timed exclusivity of a year, and they actually said they were going to bring it over, and then they just never did. My guess would be that they have exclusivity, time exclusive on the VR version of the game or portion of the game, and they could bring it over in a year. But I don't know if they would. Like, I don't know if they see it that there's a big enough install base on PC. And I went through looking at just different numbers, and I was really surprised to see that PlayStation has a way bigger install base than PC does for gaming. The more PC headsets are sold, but there's a lot of industries that use them outside of just like being a ninja in VR. And then I just kind of like went on a little bit more just to look at what Sony's doing with VR. And I'm actually pretty impressed with how they're pushing VR, how they're making games like the Iron Man game. I didn't even know it was out because I wasn't really following it, but it has some pretty good reviews. They did Resident Evil 6 or 7, I'm sorry, and made it fully VR. They're doing the same with Hitman, fully VR. And what I just found out now, which they probably announced, I just overlooked it, was that if you own Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, they're actually redoing the whole thing, all those, that if you own those on PlayStation, you can play all of them through VR as well.
Wow.
I'm really impressed on the push that they're making with PSVR. And then I looked at the leaked headset the leaked specs for PSVR 2. I'm pretty impressed by that. And I'm going to wait a while, but this could be the reason that I get a PlayStation, honestly. We talked about VR last time and how we like being immersed in this. Well, we're not getting it on PC. And it's honestly no one's, other than like Half-Life Alyx that just came out, no one's really doing anything. Like the Marvel game that we played, I felt it was kind of more of a tech demo than an actual game. Like there's been no big games for it. And Sony is paying third parties to incorporate it into their games.
Dude, could you imagine Gears of War in VR?
That'd be legit as fuck, dude.
Fucking burn! Yeah, chainsaw battle, like fucking,
or even retro,
like...
dude.
And you have to like physically get down and like punch them when you're executing them.
When you have the long shot and you're doing the golf. That'd be legit.
That'd be fucking awesome, man. Like I'll probably never leave that shit. This is the guy who died playing VR in Gears of War. Yep, that was me.
I feel like PC VR has like a lot of cool things going on. Like, even though I've never played it, VR chat, like kind of things that you wouldn't find on a closed system.
Have I told you that I tried VR chat?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I did a Mega Man, but I did the avatar wrong, so his hand was like this the whole time. But yeah, it was all right.
You have little quirky things that you won't get on like more indie stuff. But I like AAA. So like, some of the indie stuff has been cool, but I like AAA stuff. And the only AAA stuff I've been seeing is really from Sony. So we'll see how that goes. The VR2 headset's not coming out till next year. We're going to have a shortage of PlayStations. And even if I bought one day one, I wouldn't have anything to play because I don't want to play anything that's coming out day one. So I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm just surprised that Sony's VR is actually like getting this good.
Yeah, I mean, until you told me that, I would have never believed that Sony was ahead in sales, like above Oculus, especially because Facebook owns Oculus, but it's like you said, they're not really like doing anything with it. I mean, sure, they have ads and, you always see stuff on Facebook, oh, try VR or whatever, but it's like, it's all about the games and well, so it's not totally about the games, and then that's probably why Sony is winning, as you were saying, because Sony's focusing on the games, on the AAA experiences, whereas Oculus and maybe even Valve or Rift, whatever, or Vive, whatever, they have other experiences in VR that you can do, like riding a roller coaster and going down below the ocean, and they're not so much games as allowing
tech
you to
demos.
allowing you to swim with dolphins and I can see where that's where where there's a niche for that or whatever, you know, like old people that can't get out to go and actually snorkel and stuff, being able to swim with dolphins, and you know, it's kind of like good for rehab. And like you said, there's other industries that use virtual reality, but just not for gaming. And so it's almost like we're getting hurt by that because we are the PC VR base, and you know, there's not as much of a push for gaming as there is. Sony is just like, hey, we're a game company, and you know, this is it. So I agree with you in that I feel like there needs to be more AAA VR games that we can play. Because I mean, Seeking Dawn was probably one of the best VR games that, in my opinion, that we've played because it felt
I,
like an actual game.
I agree 100%. Like Seeking Dawn, which was an indie game, was one of the like deepest VR experiences we've had.
Mm-hmm. Which
And
you could probably see in the card up there.
and I think Sony is just putting money where their mouth is, and Facebook never did with Oculus, and until recently with Half-Life Alyx, Valve never did. I've heard Half-Life Alyx is a really good game, and I do
I
want to
heard
play
that
it.
as well.
I do want to play it, and you know I have the means to play it, so it's just a matter of when it goes on sale. Um, but
Cheap ass. No, I was playing.
but you know, think about like Resident Evil in VR. If they were to release the VR patch on PC, I would have bought that shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
that's. I was kind of waiting for it actually. Like that's one of the
Yeah,
reasons why I've not played Resident Evil 7. So I've seen. I saw my roommate at the time, Scott, shout out, play it a little bit, but like I was waiting to play it myself because I wanted to do it in VR.
same. Like yeah, like you know, it looked like a good game, and I saw it for cheap for a few times. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait till the VR patch comes out, and it never came. I heard Ace Combat had VR, which that's not a game I would want to play, but
Get
that's
fucking
cool.
motion sickness and that shit. Oh god, why I can't know where I'm going.
You know, and then we have the Iron Man game that's solely on PlayStation, and then and now we're getting Hitman, which they're they're doing what like I always envisioned VR to be, like full blown games that you can play like that. Like that's crazy to me that you can play Hitman with the controller or with the fucking headset. It's fucking crazy.
You have to literally sneak up behind somebody and fucking choke them out.
Yeah, that was in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that could be what sells me on a PlayStation. I don't feel I need to buy an Xbox because they're putting all their stuff on PC, and they don't give a shit if you buy if what where you buy it from. It's all Microsoft.
It's all Xbox as a platform versus just
Correct.
Xbox as a console. Yeah, I agree. Um, shit, something you said. Oh, like I feel like all the VR stuff that we've gotten, aside from like Seeking Dawn and maybe one or two other games, most of them are just snippets of what could be awesome. Like, did you? I don't know if it was you who played it with me. That drunken bar fight game. Did you play that with me?
No, I didn't play that with you, but I saw your stream.
Oh god, that shit, it was actually really fun. Like it's you know, you walk around and you see people and you can like punch them and like pick stuff up and hit them with it, and like I made this guy do a flip. Like I just kind of like touched his torso and I kept moving my hand and his player model just kept bending and I just kept moving and he literally did like a flip. It was pretty funny. But like, you know, it's cool, the kinds of things, the kinds of experiences you could have in VR. But can you imagine that sort of thing being tied into a larger game, like let's say Grand Theft Auto, where a lot of people, you know, like to run around and just randomly punch pedestrians and shit. So like that's part
Yeah,
of it. Like you're in VR, you're running, and then hey, there's a pedestrian. You just start a fight with somebody like out in the middle of the street, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna hijack a car. You get in the car, and then you're actually in the car, and you have to like, you know, shift and change the station physically, and like you could be part of a larger experience. But all of the things that are out now are like smaller little subsets of what could be.
exactly, exactly. And I think Raw Data is a perfect example of that. Like, if for you guys who don't know, Raw Data was a wave defense VR game where you play as different people with different powers. But I feel like that's like a level in a bigger game. Like,
Yeah, or like a subsection of it or something.
yeah, and no one like it, and that's what most of them feel like, other than Seeking Dawn and maybe like Arizona Sunshine.
Right.
But those are the only two that I've been like, wow, these are like really cool experiences. The other ones always just seem like bigger tech demos.
So I like what how's it called, Sekiro or whatever, or not.
Oh, the ninja one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one because you could, you know, you can jump off walls and ninja and throw shurikens and different things. But like, you could kind of combine that with raw data, and you wouldn't really miss much. You know what I mean? Like the wave defense of raw data, but like the actual jumping around of that other ninja game, and that could still only be like a quarter of an actual game. You know, but instead
Yeah.
those are two games that you can buy and you get to experience. Like, I don't know, I remember, I think it was when you first brought the Rift, when you first bought the Rift and then brought it over. And I think it was like the Miles Morales, like maybe, or maybe Spider Man Homecoming, one of the demos where you play as Spider Man. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
thinking, like, that was really fucking cool. And it turns out that was actually more fun than fucking Marvel Powers United Spider Man. Like, you
And
know what I
probably more
mean?
in depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was really disappointed by the Marvel game. I felt like it was just a cash grab, and it it kind of reminds me of the current Avengers game, where like it's just really shallow.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like we talked about Battletoads, where it could have been a different. It didn't have to have the Battletoads name, and it could have been a good game, but because we had the expectations, sort of like the same thing with Marvel, it could have just been like a generic superhero game, and we would have been like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool." But because it was Marvel, we have these expectations of it being like fucking incredible, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So we're disappointed.
Yeah. So that pretty much goes, like, I'm thinking about maybe if Sony pushes their VR more, I might end up getting a PlayStation just for the VR. And then obviously, if I already have it, I might pick up some first parties, but I can't think of any first parties I want off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had a
Maybe
PlayStation
Bloodborne.
in a while.
Yeah, same. Um, oh. So speaking of PS5, if you want to play Call of Duty on PS5 but don't want to wait for it, and want to play now as well, it's $70 to get the edition that allows you to upgrade to the PlayStation 5. If you get the PS4 edition, of course. You can't buy the Xbox One and then upgrade to the PS5.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yo, all my
But
stats transfer, right?
so, that would be funny. So Call of Duty is releasing 3 editions. One of them is $60, where you just buy the game on the current gen and you just have it on the current gen. The other game's $70, a version of $7, and it's cross-gen, so you get it on one and you have rights to it on the next generation. And then another one's like $90, where you get some bullshit that I don't care about. That's not the point of this. I just wanted to comment on the $70 version mainly. I think that's total horseshit. I think, and they're not doing any extra work for it. They're not redesigning the game to take any benefit of the hardware. They're really just scaling your textures, upping your frame rate. Nothing that you can't do on a PC. When you buy a PC version of a game and you have shit hardware, it scales down to your shit hardware. If you buy a good graphics card in that meantime, you up the settings and it looks better. There's no reason for this at all. I think they're going to get away with it, though. I think tons of people are still going to buy it. They don't give a fuck. Activision makes most of their money from fucking microtransactions. This is just another microtransaction, and the people who buy the microtransactions don't give a shit about this kind of stuff. They just fucking buy them. So I think they're going to get away with it. I hope that other developers or publishers don't see this and
Get any
take advantage.
ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. They're one of the highest, they make a shitload of money and then they lay off their people. It's just an excuse for, they're going to say, oh, next gen costs more. No, it doesn't. We've been doing this shit for a while, no, like on PC, especially not that game, because it's not taking advantage of any of the new consoles or any of the new stuff in the consoles.
Wait, Call of Duty's not going to have ray tracing?
I wonder if it does. but that's something in the thing already that, in the engine.
Yeah.
So it's bullshit. Activision is just being assholes. I think Take-Two is doing the same thing, but it's Activision. I don't expect anything else from them. Like, honestly, if they weren't being shitty, I'd be surprised.
Right. Like if they were gonna be cool, like, hey, pay $60 once, you can play it on current gen, next gen, and get the skins or whatever.
Right, and we give you all the skins and skins that come out after the game.
Oh shit!
Map packs included.
Yeah,
Yes.
fucking right, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that fucking bullshit. Like when we actually did play COD, fucking map pack that was like 4 maps for $20 or something shit like that. It's like it wasn't even worth it, man.
Did you? I don't know. We didn't really talk about this because I don't think we had a podcast going again at the time. Did you hear that when Modern Warfare 2 came out, the DLC back in the day was DLC again?
What do you mean?
So you know how you were talking about the $20 maps and stuff, like
Yeah.
the DLC. So when you bought the base game of Modern Warfare 2, when you bought Modern Warfare 2, the remaster, you got what came in the base game like 10 years ago, whenever it was. Was it 10 years ago? I think it was.
Oh, and then they released the same DLC as DLC.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the fuck? How lazy can you be? Holy shit. No, I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. You would think that instead of doing some shit like that, they're gonna go through all the work of remastering. They might have just fucking included all the extra
And since it's a
maps and
fucking
shit.
10-year-old game, like that's what you do. You just throw all the content in there and like, here you go, one package. It's so
Not
dumb.
Activision. They're just like, show me the money. Show me the money.
Yeah, you know, I hope games don't cost $70. But one of the reasons I want to keep I love my PC because it's more powerful than console. But I was reading comments today about I forgot what it was. It was on a Facebook post though, on one of the ads, and someone was talking about how they were happy they built a PC because all the deals, and they're buying so many games for so cheap, and that just doesn't happen in console. So hopefully, PC players won't have to deal with this shit because they just drop in price. But
Yeah.
sorry, console players.
Yeah, like that's one of the main benefits to owning a PC. Like I have a huge ass library of games that I probably will never even play, but it's the reason for that is because you get them so cheap. You spend $10 on a humble bundle and get like 15 games. Like
Yeah.
it's there's some where we've played and booted up a few times, but for the most part they're just gonna be there. But if I ever have a wild desire to play Burnout Paradise, it's in my fucking library.
And you don't have to worry about cross compatibility issues,
Yeah, exactly.
or like,
And
I guess, backwards compatibility. Sorry.
but I guess you do sort of have to worry about the whole like digital thing because technically I own the Deadpool game, but that game has been pulled from store shelves. So like I don't have it downloaded, so I don't think I can even download it from Steam anymore.
That's true because you don't own the game; you own the rights to play the game.
Yeah, so I technically have it, but I don't actually have it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
kind
that's
of like
that.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to
What's it?
explain that just in case people don't know?
Oh, how so Scott Pilgrim, they lost the licensing issue and they taken the game down. So if you actually own the game, you can't download it anymore because it's just not being distributed like anymore. So you had to download it and then just keep it on your PC. Hope that hard drive never corrupts. Hope SATA 3 stays relevant forever if you want to play.
Yeah, but the good news is that they are looking into reacquiring the license or the rights or what have you, and they'll be able to redistribute it because that game was actually really fun.
I thought it was a good game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be cool.
So Corsair, it's possibly, well, they're looking at making it public. They actually have been blowing up recently. They bought Elgato, so they own Elgato. They own obviously Corsair stuff. Who else did they buy? That was another big one that I losing off the top of my head.
I had just read it too, and I just not coming to mind. But yeah,
They bought a lot
they
of company. They're gobbling things up.
yeah, they're making moves.
Yeah, so they're going to go public. I possibly can think about, well, I'm possibly going to buy some stock in it because they're really pushing the Elgato brand. and Elgato makes some good stuff. Like, we have the Stream Deck, and I think that the thing's pretty damn awesome.
I love it.
Uh,
Fucking
yeah,
love it. Yeah, I recommend that shit to streamers all the time, like on Twitter or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm a new streamer. What do you suggest? I'd be like, when you can afford it, a fucking Stream Deck.
get it on sale though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we got ours on sale, so that was awesome.
yeah.
The new microphone that came out, I want that. Even though it's the same as in quality wise, the Yeti, and that's pretty similar. But the software on it, and the fact that you can use
It's
your
kind of like
Stream
a
Deck.
Go XLR, right?
Mhm.
Software. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, for $130, it's not bad.
And then we
Uh,
both actually have the Elgato capture card, right?
yeah, I have a capture. That's right, the capture cards. I was
Hmm.
actually looking into how much a 4K one is if I ended up buying a PlayStation.
Oh,
It was
that'd be dope.
expensive, so I was like,
Well, I mean,
well,
that'd be dope. It'd help our content.
yeah, but we don't put anything in 4K.
Well, I'm saying if you decided to get a PS5 and get the capture card, just put some footage on there, just raw footage.
Yeah, 4K.
I mean, people would watch it.
I
They
don't have a
would.
4K monitor. Like, I don't even have a way to see 4K.
You'll just that'll literally be a blind playthrough. I don't know what's going on.
But speaking of
Uh,
PlayStation and resolutions, this had nothing to do with Corsair. Just
yeah, no,
popped
it's
in my
fine.
head. When I was looking through all the PSVR shit, I actually saw something that so there's like I think it's a Philips monitor. It's a 2K ultra wide monitor, kind of like mine, except it's a higher refresh rate because it's newer. Mine's pretty old at this point. I think it's 3 years old. It actually is advertised like as the best way to play your console games. They were advertising console games on the monitor. So while it has not been confirmed by Sony, that kind of left some speculation open that Sony may be supporting ultrawide on their PlayStation. And if they do that, that might be another reason for me to buy it. But
Yeah, if you haven't learned by now, this motherfucker loves ultra wide.
dude, I'm gonna buy a super ultrawide next year. I'm
I
not
want
even
to,
fucking.
I want to see that monitor. Like, yeah, I want you to take a fucking screenshot when you get it set up of your desk and throw it in our Discord, which you can find the link in the description if you're not already. Join our wonderful community, and just see that picture of that fucking ultra wide monitor. It's gonna be crazy.
I
You're
want
gonna
it.
have to get. You're gonna have to get Flight Simulator at some point. You're just gonna have to
Well, we have it
on Games Pass.
on Game Pass, so I just need to
Well,
install it.
Well, I mean, you need to get it with that monitor, and then you're also
Yeah.
gonna have to find some flight equipment, sticks or whatever. Like I've been seeing nobody's posted anything on our channel or whatever yet, but I've been seeing some stuff on Twitter of some people's setups and whatnot, and like it's pretty crazy. It reminds me of the Steel Battalion days.
I never got Steel Battalion, but I'm kind of sad I never did.
I've only ever seen the controller. I think like I don't remember who had it, but what it was. I think it was one of our friends, like maybe Harold.
I know someone in high school who had it.
Well, anyway, somebody had it, and I fucking have seen it, and so
I've
like
seen it myself.
I know the
Yeah.
comparison, and I'm just like, yeah, that's like Steel Battalion levels of shit, like with the flight sticks and all the buttons and everything. So yeah, you're gonna have to do it like that one day, get it all fucking geared out, and then we'll just have to we'll do a stream where like one front facing camera and then one camera like on the equipment, so you can see what you're actually
Yeah.
doing. That'd be dope.
I would be cool. I've actually been thinking about how I want to upgrade my stream. Obviously, my PC's like upgrading my PC is probably a better upgrade to the stream, but I do want to maybe get a higher resolution camera and something
Same.
later on. But
I
yeah,
think right now for me there would be the cam, just because I can do it for not just streaming but our actual YouTube videos. So it'd be good.
I think the graphics card for the rendering for me, because OBS, now that I'm streaming off my CPU and I'm noticing OBS is taking a lot of my GPU as well, I want to get that up so I can play my pretty resolutions.
Yeah, I'm more fine with playing in lower reses, but it's all
Yeah,
good because frames win games, son.
exactly. And I can't lose on the stream or they'll leave. It's like I could fucking lose. I'm out.
That's why nobody watched our Battletoads stream, because we weren't able to fucking beat those stupid ship missions and like
We
the
didn't have enough
stupid
frames.
and the yeah Well, I mean, tell in my case that might have been fucking true, having to do the online parsec thing because the game doesn't support online co-op. Like, what the
That's
fucking
really
hell?
lame.
Like, how does a game release these days without online fucking co-op? Especially in a game like that where you pretty much expect it to have it.
I think that would help a lot too, especially in
Hover
the
bike
hover bikes, because then your game on your end would compensate for the latency. So even you wouldn't die
or as
instantly.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, there's a few sections I did okay. I was trying to adjust for lag, but
it's hard. If you don't see it coming, how are you gonna? You
yeah.
just your reaction just has to be on point.
I have to try to
Yeah,
anticipate, like jump before the jump and move before the
exactly.
move. Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
And you wouldn't have to worry about that if they just coded it. Yeah,
So fucking hard.
I think that's it. Unless you have something else that you want to talk about.
Trying to think anything else that I might have heard. Oh, just that Surgeon Simulator is actually out. Surgeon Simulator 2 released I think yesterday or the day before.
I
So
don't think it supports VR though.
probably not at launch. I know we were discussing how it came to the first Surgeon Simulator, but that one didn't have it at
Yeah,
launch either.
no, I
So
didn't.
it might be something that they're kind of gonna see how well it does first, and then turn around and use some of that money to do the VR version. But I still want to play it because
I want to play when
it's.
it's in VR.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. VR would probably be like the best experience, but like I still think it'll be fun just to try it out. But
I guess I'll bring up the other one that you brought in in our little topics. The Fortnite characters on Marvel covers. When I first read that, I was like, "Oh God!" Person like my first thought was, "Oh, this is stupid." And after thinking about it for a while, I don't think it's stupid. I hate it, but I don't think it's stupid. Um, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, comic books aren't doing too well with the new generation. It's more of the people our age that are keeping it alive.
I mean, I'm not positive, but that seems reasonable.
So if it takes Fortnite to keep comics alive, like hardcore Fortnite kids would be like, "Oh, Captain America and Fortnite Girl." I don't even know if they have names.
Skeleton
But
guy.
yeah, like if that gets them to open the book and maybe start liking the stories and then become a fan of it, I can see where um, Marvel can benefit from that. And it is special edition covers, so I think there are versions of the same copies that do not have the Fortnite characters, so you're not forced into that stupid stuff. But it kind of is a smart move on Marvel just to see if they can bring in a younger audience to keep the art alive. If
Yeah.
I'm correct on that.
No, and I agree with you, and I feel the same way. Like when I retweeted it, I used the GIF from Dumb and Dumber where it looks like he's throwing up in his mouth. Like,
Yeah.
and so like to me, when I first read that, I'm like, man, that fucking sucks. Like I can't believe they're doing this. They're ruining Marvel. But like as you said, the more you think about it, you realize that it is a smart decision, and it could be beneficial for both companies. I mean, look at people playing Fortnite now because it got Marvel characters in its game, and they're doing like a Marvel story or campaign or what have you. So it only seems right that since Marvel's going into Fortnite, that they can put Fortnite into Marvel. They kind of have it be a two-way street instead of just one way. And like you said, if it helps the comic book industry and it gets a younger fan base interested in comics and helps support comics as a whole, then I'm all for it. Actually, like it sucks, and I agree. I'm kind of like, but I see it could be a good thing, and so I'm okay with it. It's not something I would have done. Like it's not something I would have like.
No, if I was at the comic place and someone asked me, I'm like, nah, get that shit out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but since it's already been done, it's like, well, we'll see.
And for people who feel like us, who are actually true comic, so like I don't read comics, so this really doesn't affect me one way or another. But for a fan of the like the of these comics, like because there's certain uh, series that are getting them, there are still the base cover like that it's actually supposed to be. these are special variants that you have to go out and seek and I guess collect, which they actually might be worth something a few years, like maybe 20
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
especially if this whole like epic shit with Apple like totally boils over and like Fortnite gets like absolutely mutilated and destroyed, then it's like any Fortnite merch or things of this nature, special edition crossovers might be worth a shit ton. I don't
Yeah.
foresee that happening, but you know, you
Which,
never know.
just anything special like my gold N64. I looked it up the other day. They're going for $700 opened.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, I didn't know that people wanted that bad. Maybe
Yeah.
I can separate with it. $700 is
Dude,
I
sell
can
your
either
golden 64 to get a fucking PS5, dude. Holy shit, that's fucking fantastic. Like 30-year-old console to get the newest, hottest, like shit.
yeah,
Like
and then
shit.
some. Buy some games and that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think there's always value in things like that because you have the Charizards that sell for thousands of dollars. I don't know where it is, but it's all scratched up now, so it doesn't matter. I had a Dark Charizard,
Oh,
and those go
nice.
for a few $100. A
Yeah,
Pokemon card.
I had a
Yeah,
first edition Dark Charizard. Now, if I still had that, it'd probably be a lot of money. I don't know what the fuck happened to it, but
yeah, that would probably be in the thousands.
yeah.
So, and that's why they're rare because no one knows what the fuck happened to them.
They all no people just collect them and put them away somewhere and like unpack it in a box, and then that box stays behind in a move or something, or gets put in some kind of like locker, like in Storage Wars, and it's
Someone
just like,
throws it away thinking they're not worth anything.
yeah, like what is this, like cards? I don't know, fuck this.
I remember seeing an episode. I think it was Pawn Shop or the Pawn Stars, where some dude goes in there and he's selling. He's trying to sell them Pokemon cards, and the owner's like, "Nah, get that shit out of here." And he's persistent, and eventually he brings over some dude who's actually familiar with nerd stuff, and the guy was like, "Yeah, he's actually asking for, or the price that he's asking for is actually pretty reasonable. It's thousands of dollars." And their own guy was like, "That's actually a solid offer." The dude didn't end up buying it because he's like, "I know nothing about Pokemon cards, and I'm not throwing that much weight into Pokemon cards," which makes sense. But the fact that people who appraise stuff know that these things are worth thousands of dollars is kind of crazy. So I can see a Marvel cover like this, and maybe not even for Fortnite fans, but just for Marvel fans. That one off cover back in the day.
Yeah. It's, I mean, Pawn Stars, they've wasted money on dumber shit. They spent 90 grand on a fucking parachute one time. So, like it's not like they just don't have money to be fucking blowing around.
Oh yeah, they have
But
money. They're a TV show.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, like I said, my initial reaction was one of sort of disgust, but maybe I'll see if I can't hunt some down, and if the price is reasonable, just hold on to it. Maybe get them sent off to the mints and see if you can get them graded, because basically that's how you find out how much comics are worth. Is you send them off to a special company and they like seal them. Well, first they check for damages and whatnot, but then they like seal them in those protective cases and they give it a grade of like, on a 10 scale, so like 0 to 10. And so if you have anything, I think it's like 9.8 and up, it's considered mint. And so if you have a mint condition one of these comics, be worth a shitload of money. So maybe it would be an investment, just kind of like Corsair we brought up a minute ago, or however many minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I'll probably look into investing in them as well because they're doing exceptional. So
Oh well, yeah. We swung off from Corsair, but did I ever mention that they're trying to? I think I did that they're trying to get more into streaming peripherals.
I mean, they bought Elgato, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, like the new microphone, and that's not where they're stopping. So streaming's a big market, and if they're doing some innovative stuff, and I think that would be a good investment, personally.
Yeah. So you can't say it's a conflict of interest because we don't own stock yet. So
Yeah, it's not public, but I definitely want to get your financial advice from me.
Or yeah, or me definitely. If
Yeah,
we
so let's throw that disclaimer out there.
don't listen to us for financial advice.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, my Bitcoin's been going up though.
that's good. That
I
shit's
mean,
that shit's up high.
yeah, it's not as it's so overall my portfolio is down, but like Bitcoin itself has been going up, so that's helping. You
Let me
know,
see what I see.
maybe in the next year or two, then it'll reach high. But I want to say that around this time last year, Bitcoin was getting close to like 14,000, and I earlier I think yesterday it was like at 11, so it's
It's
down a bit.
11,500 right now.
Right.
5 years ago, it was $300.
Mm-hmm. You could have. I actually was just telling my girlfriend this story. You could have become a 3 million, like a millionaire, three times over if you had initially invested $1,200. That's it. You could have
That's
been a
crazy.
fucking millionaire three times over. And what's sad is I actually knew about Bitcoin when it first hit, but I was like, digital money? That's stupid. Now who's the dumbass, right?
Yeah.
It's all good. Shit
So
happens.
yeah, instead of being millionaires enjoying life, we're here making YouTube videos.
But we're also on SoundCloud, Spotify, and whatever the other one was, Podomatic. Yep,
Which
yep.
I'd recommend going to Spotify if you're going to listen to us, because just in case we switch over from Podomatic to something else, they can stay with
Well,
us.
YouTube is always free. Well, right now it is. I haven't heard
Yeah.
anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if they change that.
Well, they'll just add more ads, or they like 30 seconds till an ad.
Dude, but
It's
it's
getting
crazy.
ridiculous.
It is. It really is. You get like two ads before the video. You get one ad every like 3 minutes, and then you get an ad at the end
Yeah.
of the fucking video. Like, bro,
It
eventually
almost
it's.
made me want to get the paid $10 version. Just like, actually, can I enjoy the video I'm watching, please?
Do you use Chrome?
No, I use my phone.
Okay, well, if you watch YouTube on Chrome, you can
Ad
install
block.
AdBlock Plus, and it
Yeah.
actually does work. I haven't seen any ads on my desktop in forever, but yeah, when I watch something on my phone, it's just like I want to shoot myself. It's so bad.
It is. Well, I think that's all I have. How about you?
Yeah, we're probably good. We riffed a little bit there, but it's all good.
All right,
It's,
guys.
no, you're
I've
good.
been Daniel, but Matt might have something to say.
You know, you're 100% good, and I've been Matthew, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Yep, laters.
Peace.